All right, Timmy.
All right.
We're back here. A couple 10 days off. Are you good? Adjusted?
Was it 10 days off?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, and now you've got phone on.
Phone is on.
Baby could come
Triggered.
in any second.
Yep. Water could break.
Water could break, and then you got to go.
Ring, ring,
So what
ring.
would we didn't even talk about this before, but then do I continue with the pod? What if it's like we're just getting into
you got to go on. Yeah.
the meat of it, and then I just talk to
You
myself?
got to play through.
So I think that college
Yeah.
coaches should.
You got to play through. You got to keep Kai, and then I'll just take off.
Yeah. We already got Kai, Liv, and Cash on
Yep.
the walk. We've got that done today. Timmy, we're going to talk a little bit NFL draft, the last dance, this new NCAA ruling, which is all we've been talking about.
Yep.
Behind the scenes, us two. UFC 249.
Some live sports. Finally.
And some live sports finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start there. UFC 249.
Okay. First
So
live sporting event, right? Or I guess, what would UFC be considered? Is it like a top 5, top 6? Is it? It's got to be
top 5 sport. You said?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Because there's always traditionally there's a top 4.
So you're putting hockey in there.
You're right.
So basketball, football, baseball, hockey. I mean, outside of the U.S., obviously soccer is changes.
Right.
But in the U.S., which outside of the U.S., MMA is probably different than, well, obviously bigger than football in most places.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wonder what it's considered.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. It'll be massive. So the undercard's on big ESPN, and then goes to pay-per-view for the main event.
With
the main card.
Cowboy and Pettis headlining the main card, right?
Yeah. So we got.
And Cowboy lost to Pettis 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that.
I want to say I heard people talking about it today. I remember the fight. I remember seeing the fight. 2013-ish.
Oh my God, that seems like forever ago.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of ties here. Cowboy Cerrone, we did a partnership with Our City Coffee.
Yep.
So we went to his ranch. We filmed him there. Uriah Hall is trained. One of his coaches is my father-in-law.
Yep.
And we've done video work with him, a partnership with Blackwood for Men. And then Michelle Watterson, we are working with her. We're basically her content team for Michelle Watterson Fitness, which she just launched.
Yep.
So we got
her
some
fitness,
ties to
her
this.
fitness app and platform. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking to Liv today. I said, we got a lot of ties in. A lot of people we're rooting for this weekend, which is more than normal. I mean, usually there's like one or two we've done some stuff with. I bet you if I looked at it too, there's even more.
There's probably, I'm sure there is.
I don't think there is actually.
Really?
I think I remember looking at it. I think
Maybe,
those
yeah.
are our 3 ties.
Yeah, I feel like in my head, because they go Saturday, Wednesday, and then Saturday. So they have 3 fights in 7 days.
Yeah, some
and
other
I just,
ones.
I think I'm mashing those together, and I think there's fights on Wednesday that are happening Saturday and vice versa. So that's
Gotcha.
why I probably think there's more than there actually is on Saturday.
This doesn't have to do with that, but just remind me after. Let's talk about Henry Cejudo's training.
Okay.
There's a tie-in for us
Yep.
potentially there. Jeremy Stevens, Kelvin Cater, no. Hardy, DeCastro, Cowboy, yes. Olenek, Verdum, no. Uriah. Yep, that's it. We got 2 ties for that, or 3 ties for this card. In 3 totally different ways too. So Uriah was a partnership with Blackwood for Men, which is high-end quality products, like grooming products, shampoos, body washes, etc. Cowboy Cerrone was with our brand, Our City Coffee.
Yep.
And then Michelle Watterson is obviously her own fitness brand.
Yep.
And you would never even know that we are behind it.
Nope.
Ever, hopefully.
Yeah, we're the team behind the team.
Team behind the team, working with her and Josh, her husband. It's a great, really cool program. She's been working on it for a year.
They launched it, I think, a year ago.
Yeah,
they haven't really done a whole lot with it.
Yeah, we tweaked it, adjusted, and now we're the content team behind it.
Yeah.
So she actually has someone who videos some of that stuff. That's our normal video person, and then we adjust and ease it into social media type stuff. So he's the guy that films for the actual app. We make it into social friendly, and then create a bunch of other stuff, and then create an engaging community and this stuff that makes it go.
Yep.
What else? Are you ready for the fights? You might see. There's another thing too. Is like if the fight.
I know.
So
baby.
if you go here's what can't happen. We need to make sure Hyde doesn't go into labor Saturday.
Yeah. Or Saturday at midnight. We can allow that.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
11:59.
I mean, it'll just fuck up my night, but
whatever.
But at least I'll get to watch the fights.
Yeah. Because if it does that, then we got to be in different places.
Yeah,
We're paying
just
double
Saturday
for the
in general. Morning probably won't be great either. Cause we'll probably be tired, and baby's born, and then like all
Saturday
that
morning?
stuff. Yeah, all that just stuff. Well, you go into labor, and then who knows how long that could
Yeah.
take. And
Yeah,
so
but I'm saying we'll have to pay double for the fights if we're not together.
yes. So post either go Friday or wait till after the fight Saturday, and then
Yeah.
green light.
I'm cool with today, though.
Keep
Today's
it in there.
Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm cool with today. We could rock it.
Yeah.
Today?
I mean, it's not up to me.
No call still.
No call.
Yeah.
3 minutes in, no call.
All right. So two things we talked about for this weekend. It would be a good weekend to have the baby.
Yep.
You got the fight Saturday, and then Sunday is episodes 7 and 8 of the Last Dance, the Jordan doc. You've watched every episode, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? My favorite line is, I don't have a gambling problem. I have
He's had so many
competition.
fucking great lines.
Oh, great lines.
Oh my God.
Jordan is just so different, and I don't want to compare him to people today, but he's just different.
Yeah.
Him and Kobe. I could see Kobe being a lot like him, and even Kobe said that in the last episode.
Yeah.
But just the competition of it. But what I loved so that was my favorite line. My favorite story was that fact that he didn't want to go to Nike.
Yeah.
He was like, Nike, and I didn't know this either at the time, that they were just like, this is 1984 when he got drafted. So the same year you and I were born.
Right.
I didn't realize that Nike just wasn't what it is now, or what it
It
was.
was a running shoe is what they explain. Yeah.
Or even growing up, by the time we know about shoes, we're playing basketball camps and stuff by
We're wearing
probably
Jordans.
90.
Yeah.
I don't know that we ever had a pair
I
of
did.
Jordans. You did?
Yeah.
You're rich.
I know. And Garnett's.
Really?
Yeah, I had a pair of Garnett's too.
I do remember we would get one pair of shoes for basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
I had Sean Kemp's.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were they called? They weren't called Kemp's. That was my coolest shoe.
Yeah, those are Reeboks though, right?
Reeboks, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my coolest shoe by far that I had playing basketball. I stopped in high school, or ninth grade was my last year. But those are the coolest ones going up to that point. But so Jordan wasn't going to get on the plane. He's like, I don't want to do this. Nike's a shit brand. I want to be with Adidas. Adidas is cool. You think about like hip hop and Adidas and a lot of people played in stuff like this. They're not people played in the Converse, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Adidas was not, it was cool, but it wasn't what
Converse had the deal with the NBA too at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. So he didn't want to get on the plane. The agent was trying to get him on the plane. He's like, I'm not doing this shit brand. And mom gets him to get on the plane. Goes
And
there.
Mama changed Nike forever.
Yeah.
She better get something
For
from
real. I'm sure she's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure she does well.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he wanted to go Adidas, and they said that we couldn't do a shoe for you, and I forget the exact word, but they were just disorganized.
Yeah.
Something like that was the way they described it. They couldn't get it done. And their goal, they wanted to sell what was it, like
3 million in
4? I was going to say
3 and 4 years. 3 million,
3 million
in
in 4 years, and they sold 126
in one.
in the first year. Like how you
They
don't
were
get a better
shitting
brand
their pants,
partnership.
I'm
You know
sure.
what's cool? Another takeaway from that is that his agent was a tennis guy.
Yep.
And he came in and he wanted to do some different stuff with Jordan. They're like, oh, you want to market him like a tennis guy? And he was like, yep. Different. He just meant different.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't know what brand partnerships looked like in the early 70s or in the 70s and early 80s, but not like this apparently. And how he did all this stuff.
They had mentioned too that shoe deals at the time, if you were really, really good, you got $100,000 was your advance, and then with Jordan got like 150, I think it was.
I don't remember the exact
but
numbers.
But 100,000 was basically and that was established NBA guys at the time. This guy was like a rookie coming in, and they gave him $150K, which was like unheard of at the time.
Yep. And he did the McDonald's and the Gatorade Be Like Mike. Us growing up, and I didn't like Jordan.
Oh, Jordan was my guy.
And we're from Cleveland.
Yep.
I didn't like Jordan because he beat the shit out of the Cavs.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like him, but I loved that commercial, and I remember.
Sometimes I dream.
Yeah, it was so good, good, and so just like as far as like how you branded somebody. No, I don't know if I don't think anyone ever has been branded as well as Jordan was.
It's
the way you put
hard,
together his image, put together the way he sells products. He had the issue with Republicans buy.
Well, I mean, that's fucking
shoes too. I thought that was I loved his explanation.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I didn't know the guy. I didn't want to endorse him, but I gave him money.
Yeah.
So this is now however many years later, 25 years later that he's talking about it. He should have came out 30 years maybe. He should have come out and maybe said that. I totally get that. And also he's a black guy from North Carolina, when a racist guy against a black guy. Like there probably could have been some more to it, but with that simple explanation, like I don't actually know the guy personally, but I donated money to his cause, I think would have probably eased some things a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't live through it, so we don't know how if it really was an issue or they just brought it up in the thing. Like I don't remember it. I never even heard of it. I'd never even heard of it.
You never heard that?
Nah.
Republicans buy shoes? Oh, I've heard that.
And at the same time, like I don't think there's no social media, so he couldn't just do that. So it had to be like a
people wanted intervieiews.
Yeah.
People wanted interviews.
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk to media.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the time when he was shutting down anyways, right? Where he did like a media
because
hiatus.
of that.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So he could have addressed it. That
Well, then I think it was gambling too. That's why. And there's just.
Oh, you're right.
And then he go to Atlantic City or whatever.
Well, so he goes to Atlantic City.
I think all that kind of like happened in the same time frame.
Ish. Yeah. I know that. Yeah, it's tough. The one thing I don't love about the doc is too much back and forth.
That would be my only. Yeah, mine too.
But it's great.
You have to watch because.
Yeah.
It'll because even High is watching with me and she's like, wait, did they win 3 at this point or did they win 2? And she has no idea what's happening in sports.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to sometimes even say this is 98 or this is 93.
Mm-hmm.
Was Robin on the team then? There is a little bit too much choppiness to it, but
a little bit, but yeah.
Fuck, you got 10 hours of.
It's great. It's great either way.
And probably a gajillion hours of footage you're going through to tell that story.
I think they could do 20 episodes if they wanted to.
And I'd binge watch them. They had I saw it today. The ratings are staying the same, about 6 million across. All 7 or 6 episodes now.
Well, you know what's weird about what they're doing too is they're doing on ESPN. So you won't be able to watch it on ESPN Plus for a while.
Really?
There's also a Netflix because it's ESPN and Netflix.
Yeah.
So I assume what they're saying is that it goes to Netflix and then ESPN Plus.
Netflix is this summer in July.
Okay.
But so what I read was and I think it was because initially it was a June launch.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they just had that scheduled initially of July. So it's going to be launch in July 2nd. But I heard overseas, internationally, it's on Netflix now.
Oh.
And that's how they view it.
So they already watched the whole thing? Or are they
they drip it probably to drip it content.
Well, they don't need to drip it because...
No, they don't need to. But
we already know what happened.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a surprise.
Yeah.
There's no spoiler alerts because it all, you know what happens in the season. You just don't know the behind the scenes of this stuff. There's no way in 5 years that we're watching anything like this.
No.
This way, where it's, I gotta wait till next week to watch the next 2 episodes. Like me and Liv watch a show called Good Girls on NBC, and yeah, it's a great show.
I think 5 years ago you would have never said that either.
No, it's a good show. I don't watch bullshit shows.
Yeah.
It's a good show. It's like about these 3 housewives who rob a grocery store, and then it's like trials and tribulations through there. But we binge watched the first 2 seasons. I think it was when she was pregnant. Like we just had the baby or something. This was a while ago, and the 3rd season just came out recently. And now we're caught up, and now we have to wait a week to watch the episodes. It's bananas.
I agree.
It's so weird having to wait. We're not used to that anymore. They
Netflix
should just do that. They should do the same thing with the Jordan doc. Put it all out. Let it roll.
Yeah, I do think they should have done that.
Yeah. But they didn't.
But what are you going to do?
Yeah, and we're not them, so they did what
but
they
are
did.
seeing, so it's like 6, I think we talked about this on the last podcast or whenever the fuck we talked about it in behind the scenes.
You've hit your F word.
About 6 million people have watched every single time, average.
Yeah.
Previously held record was 2.7 million.
For what?
I think it was the Michigan one, maybe? The Fab
30
5.
for 30?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it like tripled.
I would have guessed more than that. Even with those, I don't know. You know, they're on, and then you can watch the repeats, and then I don't know when they go to ESPN Plus or to Netflix to watch the 30 for 30 docs.
I don't know. And again, those 6 millions are watching it like live, basically. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, obviously the number's higher than that, but that's what it's averaging viewership live.
Sure, makes sense. All right, Timmy. Let's move on here.
Hold on, before we do this,
Okay.
Go back to your prediction of UFC 249. I know we briefly talked about it when it was scheduled last month. Yeah. What do you think the pay-per-view buys will be?
I have no idea because it's totally different than what.
It's very different.
I don't know. Whatever.
I think it'd be 650.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's still going to be high.
So how? Yeah, for those who don't know, how UFC always was you could buy it through any cable provider, but 15 months ago now, January of 2019, they switched to ESPN Plus, and you could only buy it through ESPN Plus. So you have to be subscribed to ESPN Plus and then purchase through there. So before that, 1 million pay-per-views was massive.
Mm-hmm.
Now 500,000 is really big.
Yeah.
So it's totally different. That seems high. They're what's still weird about how this all works with the UFC is that the ESPN, the people behind the anchors and stuff, it doesn't feel like they're really into it to me.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody who's into the UFC and watches it and follows it and knows the sport from a marketing business, that kind of perspective, it doesn't feel like they're into it. So it still feels like kind of fringy from that aspect. Of course, you get, like, I'm looking at the commercials when I'm just sitting here making breakfast in the morning. I can see UFC, I forget how they worded it, the most stacked. That's what it was. Stacked card of all time. Okay. And it might be. Yeah. I mean, it probably isn't, but it's probably top 10 of all time. It's a great card. From top to bottom, it's a great card. But the at the top, Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson are not massive names.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Ferguson's got a pretty good following. They're awesome fighters. It's going to be a great fight.
It's going to be a phenomenal fight.
Just name-wise, it's like, for us, we're geeks for it.
Yeah.
For other people, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dom Cruz versus Henry Cejudo, great fight. Henry Cejudo's former Olympic champ. He's a 2-weight class UFC champ. He got stripped of the 125 belt, and Dominic Cruz is the most decorated bantamweight of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, great fight, great fighters. Does it get the casual fans? It probably does because of where we are and there's no live sports. But I don't know. We'll see.
I guess
I would love to see them doing more program live here. I haven't seen one difference on an ESPN show or on an ESPN schedule where they're hitting more about they're talking more about the fights. They're not doing on big ESPN. They're not doing a full 30-minute show on the card.
Oh no,
I haven't seen
ESPN.
anything.
Okay.
I mean, I see it on the YouTubes and the social, and I'm looking for that stuff.
Yeah,
they haven't done embeddeds, which is like the 7 to 10 minute shorts they do daily once the pay-per-view starts. But we talked this morning. Maybe they'll just get to that once
people arrive tomorrow.
Yeah. I saw Tony Ferguson's there today.
Okay.
So maybe they'll start doing that stuff. Maybe they won't even do it because they don't want extra camera people. If it's with the whole COVID shit, it's all still really weird.
A lot of question marks for sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. Pay-per-view wise, who knows? A lot.
Well, they got one here. Maybe two, depending on birth.
Hopefully one.
Yeah.
All right, Timmy, let's talk. The biggest thing we're talking about right now is the NCAA ruling, and something we'll be all over and hopefully very much so a part of moving forward here. So the NCAA ruled last week that athletes will be able to use their likeness to make money.
Correct.
So I can't pay you just to come play football. So you can't base it on performance and something else. I forget, but that's the gist of it.
Yep.
So essentially you can't get paid by your performance. So if you're the starting quarterback, you make $15,000, but if you didn't start, you're going to make $10,000. You can't. Right. The schools can't pay you directly. Obviously, we know there's lots of ways that indirectly they'll help you, but it is amazing to me how people don't understand how big this is going to be. This is going to be so damn big.
Yeah, this is so big. It'll change everything. Everything.
We both of us have talked to. I've talked to multiple college coaches from the biggest schools in the country to small schools. I've talked to an athlete or two about it as well, and they have no idea how big this is going to be.
Well, nobody does because people don't live in the business world. They lived in this football vertical.
I talked to one guy, and he's at a big-time school, top 25 school every year. And I told you this, but he said, tell these guys that only 3 to 4 people are going to get paid. And three to four football players, maybe one basketball player, no baseball, was what I think was his exact wording.
Okay.
And I said, no chance. I said, you're dead wrong. If you're at his school and half the guys aren't making some sort of money, you're messing up.
Yep.
Because it's so in this, and I think actually what I said was 2 to 4 guys will get paid. Like there will be those guys. So right now, like the Trevor Lawrences, the Justin Fields, who are the top 2 quarterbacks in the country. Trey Lance, who you don't know about. Have you heard of Trey Lance?
Mm-mm.
Trey Lance is the guy we need to talk about.
Okay.
North Dakota State quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Big time player. Will be probably a first round draft
Yep.
pick next year, depending on how this year goes. But so there's those massive names at the top, and Trevor Lawrence could be a millionaire. If
it was approved today,
if it was
he'd
approved
be a millionaire
today,
by the time
he
school
would be
starts.
a millionaire.
Yep, in August. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
If he's represented correctly, and guided correctly,
No question.
he can make $1 million.
Yep.
Not even like, I don't even think that would be hard to do.
Not even a question.
No, and he's got a good social following. He's a charismatic dude, and plays at Clemson, and so he's got that.
Yep.
They'll be on national TV every week. He's got a good social, like I said, and he's a good looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
That never hurts either. And
Sorry,
text.
No,
Nope.
we're good. I said to call.
No baby?
So, yeah, no baby
Okay.
yet.
So here's some things that I think that we've talked about where I think they're really missing the boat. So let's look back. Here's ways I think a college athlete can get paid. One, brand partnerships. And I think the coach I was talking to too didn't understand. He thought just like, he's only thinking massive brands.
Right.
And
your
that's
Nikes, your Cokes.
Yes. Massive brands. And there'll be that again. But there's many other brands that loved the Home Depots of the world, like those kind of places, like that spend a ton of money on college football.
In college
already.
football world,
Yes.
From a national scale.
National scale.
Yes.
We're not even
getting down to the lowers.
So you talk national, there's brand partnerships.
Yes. Who have hundreds of millions of dollars for ad budgets, media buy, all that stuff.
Yes. Hundreds of millions of dollars. So there's brand partnerships, there's appearances, there's just straight social plays.
Yep.
So that could be, obviously that's a brand partnership too, but that could be an aspect of it that probably most of the coaches are not thinking about. And then there could be merch.
Yes. And all of them could add up to a fuck ton too.
A ton of money.
Yes.
A ton of money.
Yes. Yeah. And exposure too. It's like building your brand from a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid.
Yes.
Start then, but actually make money off it right off the jump too.
Today, tomorrow, whenever this starts.
When
bam,
you're
go.
allowed to.
So I think that's one thing that coaches aren't seeing or know how to do. They don't know how to help them build their brand.
And they're not supposed to though. Or they haven't been supposed to. Now, they need to.
So remember when we went to Sierra Canyon?
Uh-huh.
So Sierra Canyon, LeBron James' son plays there, Bronny, Dwayne Wade's son plays there, and they weren't even the top 3 guys on the team. Like they're monsters. Brandon Boston Jr., Zaire, a bunch of really good players. They got guys going to Kentucky, TC, like all over. They're very, very good. And I thought it was kind of weird when he first said it. Their head coach was talking about, all these guys, they're also thinking about their brand when they do this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really damn cool that a high school coach understands. He could fight this all day.
Yeah.
But he understands that these guys are different and they're thinking at 15, 16, 17 years old about their brand. And so Brandon Boston Jr., like I said today, one kid is going to be, he's projected top 5 in the 2021 draft.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Wade's son, he's a kid who will, I don't even know if he'll play college basketball, but he's got a massive brand
already.
already.
Got a brand, yeah.
Yeah, young DNA. And Bronny Wade, of course, Bronny James will be the same. And all these guys, Zaire is another kid, the other player on the team that'll be in the NBA draft. So he's allowing them to think ahead. I've talked to coach and player at a top 10 school, and neither of the coaching staffs have mentioned anything about brand building to the players.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't change that, they're going to be behind recruiting. So they're going to have to change policies to include brand building and to make sure that they're not getting behind the 8 ball when it comes to recruiting players. Because if you're not talking branding and how I can help your brand when you're coming to so if you come to my school, I'm going to help your brand. If you're not doing that, you will be way behind other schools that will be doing that and making extra money for their players.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's why the whole movement is happening so fast anyways, because California said, okay, we're going to allow athletes to get paid.
Yeah.
Now everyone else is saying, well, we're at a huge disadvantage. Now we need to push this forward ASAP. But to your point is now people are seeing that you need to move it a little bit faster.
Oh, you better go.
But not everyone's going to do that.
No, they won't.
They're not going to have coaches in place. They're not going to have a specific person in place, whether player personnel, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
There's going to be people that are being left behind. Those recruits aren't the big time recruits aren't going to go there. The school program's going to come. They're going to have to come from behind and real fast.
If I can go, so just like, we work in marketing and athlete branding. So if I go to a player and I say, we helped LeBron James make $1.5 million while he was at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Or I helped Carmelo Anthony make $200,000 at Syracuse. Like, why wouldn't you go? I know LeBron obviously didn't go to Duke and Melo did, but why wouldn't you go to the place that the top athlete made more money? Like from a just a simple recruiting and business perspective, you have to change how you do that. So you have to understand how to help your kids sell themselves and not just sell their likeness and for a commercial, but be able to sell it or be able to teach them how to create that brand on social, which is where we come in and then where we help.
Exactly. And it's even more important for basketball because you might get a guy for a year and they're gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would imagine basketball is different from a brand building.
Yeah.
I bet you they talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit more than football, generally speaking, programs would. And there's obviously certain programs where those kids are just in it, the Kentuckys of the world, the Dukes of the world,
12-month rentals or whatever, 8-month rental.
8 months. Yeah, they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we're jumping around here a little bit, but
we're like the Jordan doc.
Yeah. So let's go back to brand building.
93.
So we both played at Bowling Green State University, a Division I small program, and then we both went to Division II schools that were very good Division II schools, but Division II and smaller. I'm sure I had two quarterbacks, Billy Cundiff and Taylor Housewright, who we've talked about on here.
Yep.
I'm at Ashland, Division II Ashland football. I'm sure those guys could have made at least $10,000.
No
question. Whether it be local brands, selling merch. There's ways to make money from at the Division III level when I used to coach there.
Yeah.
There was marketable kids that could make money.
If you're telling me like what Ashland has 7,500
kids,
10,000, something like that.
No. It's a small school.
They're smaller than that.
25.
2,500.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ashland's
okay, so 2,500 people.
You know everybody on campus.
Yeah. Jesus. I didn't realize it was that small. It's 2,500 students on campus. And I think at least two. So top two quarterbacks. I think legit could get $25,000 to $30,000. You get a brand deal from local dealership, let's say. You have your own merchandise.
Yeah.
Grab a couple other small $1,000, $2,000 a month deals from people who are local. Yeah. No question, you're making $30,000 as a college student while you're still playing.
A Division II college student.
Yeah, and barely. You don't have to do a ton for $30,000. I mean, you're doing some social. You might do an appearance here or there, but you're a college student, you do have some downtime, and to make $30,000 is like making a freaking $1 million.
Well, here's another thing part of what you're allowed to get paid is based on what's like the general going rate. I forget the wording, but something like that. So
you
so
can't
like
go above the
general going rate.
Yeah,
whatever like based on where you are and what you are. So I couldn't pay Trevor Lawrence to come speak at an event for $1 million. But they don't know that stuff.
Right.
College coaches don't know that and don't know how to navigate any of that stuff. And that's, again, a place where we hope to come in and be able to showcase or show them, like, here's how this could work. Mm-hmm. Here's what a rate would be. And this makes sense. And this is comparative to person X who has this following and is this, we'll be seeing this many times on TV and blah, 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 like all that stuff.
And they do that because, well, at least, there's a lot of gray area and they're still kind of figuring it out themselves. But the NCAA is trying to figure out. They don't want boosters to come in and say, we'll pay you $1 million when really the only value of you to do a 30-second commercial is, $30,000 or something. So they just don't want boosters affecting that. That's why.
Totally fair.
Yep.
I think I never have been pro NCAA in anything.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time where they seem to have it right. Hope I didn't talk too soon on that.
Yeah, we'll see.
And they come back with some rule changes.
Yeah. I don't think they can, but it's getting pushed.
Yeah. Well, adjustments and blockages that don't need to be there. They could do that still.
Correct.
So going back to the coach at the big school, I said half your guys should be getting paid. So I think why wouldn't? It's obvious. There's always going to be an obvious handful of people.
Yeah.
How many people did Alabama have drafted in the first round? 6 this year. True. Those guys are all.
LSU had 22 guys drafted in the draft.
Some of those people are so obvious.
Yeah.
Some aren't. But also, what about that backup quarterback who's starting behind Tua,
Mm-hmm.
or not even who's starting behind, who's on the bench behind Tua, and he's a freshman and Tua's a junior, and unless you're a hardcore Alabama fan, you don't know the guy. But why wouldn't Nike want to reach out and start this brand partnership already? And they're gonna, brand X, whatever the brand is.
Mm-hmm.
But why wouldn't they start building that relationship with that 18-year-old? And then why wouldn't they also start building that relationship with that 16-year-old in high school? I think this will trickle down to all those. And if you don't understand how to leverage that as a college coach, you're gonna be screwed.
Yeah,
big time.
You know what would be really cool to see.
Yeah,
and this is just you threw out the backup quarterback, you threw out Nike. I think it'd be really cool, and Nike can definitely do this. But it's along the same lines of like you brand building. But Nike does a great job of like making you a fan when you're 5 years old. So it falls on brand anyways. Is creating these different original content. Maybe it's just vlog style of the backup quarterback, or something like that. Like the next up type of ordeal where I'm a quarterback at the top 5 schools, and it's just a daily vlog sponsored by Nike, or maybe it's broadcast, but whatever it is, Nike could do something like that.
I think it'd
be really cool
money-wise. But I think it would just depend on the guy. Like
of course,
Joe Burrow, I don't think was that big of a. I mean, obviously he went to Ohio State out of high school and then transferred to LSU. He was a big name, but probably not the biggest name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he was ranked. Cam Newton was a massive name coming out. So Cam Newton comes in, and he's behind Tim Tebow at Florida because he was at Florida first, then went to JUCO, then Auburn. So when he comes out, he's a guy that you want to get on top. You know this guy's going to play, even though he's not playing. So he'd be a guy that would make sense to do something like that with. So you've got those types of up-and-coming partnerships, and then you got the gazillion local brands that want to work with you.
Insurance, dealers, pizza places, radio show, whatever it is.
As I said to my one coach I was talking to, why wouldn't it wouldn't be weird at all for a brand that want to spend $10,000 and come to, and maybe just like 10 players for $1,000. Hey, we're doing this around March Madness. Maybe even the football players like, hey, we want to be on campus, and Joey's Pizza in wherever Texas A&M is. That's the first school that came to my head.
Texas.
I thought of the other schools where I actually know people, so I didn't want to say a school I know people. So Texas A&M, like let's say they just want to spend and have their brand out there. That's the stuff that coaches are not thinking about at all right now.
Well, even they do like some of the bigger schools do coaches shows, and they'll go to like BW3s or whatnot. Yeah. Watch parties, after parties. Like, hey, we're a BW3 after party. We're gonna have 5 of the athletes there. We're gonna spend $50,000. Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's literally endless too.
There are going to be logistics issues that you're dealing with 19, 20-year-olds. Like
you have to disclose things.
Stuff. You do have to disclose.
Yes.
So any contracts need to be disclosed to the universities. I wonder if they'll self-report if something looks weird though. Who knows? But
it'll be an interesting, 12 to 18 month figured out period.
Yeah. Well, and I talked to somebody. I told you this.
Mm-hmm.
There's at a big school, and they think maybe it could start as early as this season.
Yep. Which I think out of those different levels that you said of the brand deals, the social, the merch, I think merch could be the first one that goes this year too.
So we talked about a couple. Well, one, are you really going to get in trouble if you do something this year like that? But it's legal in a month and a half from now. I wonder how that would be. I could see people not wanting to dance around it and not want to do something specifically. But we talked about merch. You had the idea of a family member.
Yeah.
Well, why can't dad or mom be the business owner of this project? With Trevor Lawrence is the guy that keeps coming to mind because he's the most marketable at this point, biggest following, Clemson, great football team, and he's projected #1 pick. Why couldn't a family member be a part of that and then him promote it on his own social and make money off of that? That's an easy opportunity. And
dad creates a caricature shirt and whatever.
And tons of money he would make off of that. 2 would be, why can't you if you're Trevor Lawrence or you're on a big time team and you're going to play after January 1st when this is all officially legal, why not have your contract set up for then, for a bowl game, for your brand partnership to start then? Because they can talk to people already. They can talk to, I should say they can talk to managers and representation already, which is interesting. You just can't talk about pro stuff.
Right.
Which also seems pretty fair.
Yeah.
You want to, the kids 19, 20 years old, never ever have negotiated a deal. Probably never even negotiated how much they're going to get paid at that shitty job they got where they're making.
Didn't even think about it.
$850. They want to make $875, but they don't want to go in there. No.
Yeah, they just took it.
Yeah. So that's fair. Another good move by the NCAA. Where was I going with that? What was the other? We had 3 workarounds, we thought. So family member, wait till Jan 1st. Maybe not.
I'm thinking of.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. The other one is different, but so there's opportunities to do it. I guess we won't know until it happens if it's officially official, but
well, this just got announced on Thursday, so it's only 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Fresh too. So
yeah.
I think we know a lot more than most at this point, but
yeah. Oh, I'm reading everything I can on it. That's going to be our opportunity to get in to young athletes who don't know what they're doing and really help them out. Like help them. Here's how this works. Here's how people get paid. Here's how not to get screwed by a bunch of people that are going to try to screw you.
Yep. I mean, there's 30-year-old professional athletes that don't know what they're doing.
For sure.
Who have lived through it, who've been through big contracts, who've been through brand deals,
Yep.
still have no idea. How would a 17, 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid know how to do it? They don't.
And our job is to help teach them and educate coaches.
Yeah, I think coaches are going to be super important, but I think coaches could do the same thing. I mean, they got to be loosening some restrictions too on what's happening with coaches.
Oh, them get paid?
Yeah, why not? Coaches, brand deals.
Well, it depends. Well, I mean, they should be able to use their social to do that for sure. I don't know how that, it's also like a politics thing sometimes with coaches is if you're a Nike school, you're probably not going to do an Adidas partnership if you're a coach. If you're the head coach, by the way, if you're the head coach, you already have an allotment.
Yeah.
At the Division II level, our head coach had like $10,000 or $15,000 of his own budget to spend on. We were Under Armour, so to spend on Under Armour clothes.
Yeah.
Like so those big levels, Urban Meyer and the Nick Sabans of the world.
Yeah.
When Herb was there, millions.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, here you go. That's built into the contracts, but assistants and stuff like that, there's a different deal there. But also, speaking of shit like that, why can't Trevor Lawrence why can't he be an Adidas guy? They're Nike, right, Clemson?
I don't know.
So Ohio State's LeBron's brand.
Yeah.
So why can't Justin Fields, their quarterback, why can't he be Adidas? I'm not signed to Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
He should be able to do that. Or not Jordan Brand, LeBron's brand.
Right.
He should be able to do that, right? He's not signed to that. There's nothing there. But is it going to be a frowned upon thing, or is Ryan Day, his head coach, is he going to be a guy who's going to be different? Say, hey, I want my guy to do and smartly he should do this from a recruiting perspective. Is say, hey, I want my guy to do what's best for him.
Yep.
If he can play in the shoe and he believes in it, he's more than welcome to do that.
Yep. No, I think 1,000%. But here's what I think should shift to is LeBron, Nike, those Nikes, those Adidas, those Under Armours. I think those should be negotiated in the contract too. Like, you got a top level quarterback, we're automatically giving them $50,000 to be a part of our team too. I think those will change. Don't you think? Or you cause this like friction type of thing. Of like, I'm Adidas school, Nike comes in and tries to get the biggest guys there all the time. Or I'm a Nike school, Adidas tries to, what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense to do that. I don't know if you can say that.
I don't know either. I'm just saying from a brand perspective, I would want that.
Oh, I would want that too. Yeah. I would want,
and they have no problem paying for it. You know what I mean?
I think it'll work out more like this. So I'm Nike, I'm at Alabama. I don't know what they spend. Let's say they spend $15 a year or whatever. Shit ton of money, I'm sure. Excuse me. But I'm also going to allot, this isn't negotiated, this isn't a contract, but I'm going to allot for $500,000 to pay athletes as well. So I really like Tua Tagovailoa, who's the quarterback. I really like Jerry Jeudy, the receiver, but I can pick and choose contract wise. It will be interesting, too, to see length of contract on some of this stuff. Because are you going to sign – so Jerry Jeudy was a guy who left. Are you going to sign him to a 5-year deal? So you start as a sophomore in college, and then you roll into his pro career.
Yeah.
I wonder how that will work.
Yeah.
See, the more is, and I never thought about that till right now, is it rolls into the college. I thought about rolling from high school into college, but not college into the pros. The more we think about this stuff, the more questions come out, stuff like that. But opportunities too. Same thing. And these aren't questions that they're having in internal meetings at big schools right now.
No.
Timmy, let's get out of here. That was long. Longer than we thought. Longer than we thought.
Okay.
All right.
No baby.
No baby. No baby, no baby, no baby. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.